like, look, you get bopped anyway. Right. I ain't doing shit. Right. That's on you. I'm not really with the brothers, of course. I'm talking about just 2/3 motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
This is Sirach 11 and verse 10. My son, meddle not with many matters.
Mm-hmm.
For if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not attain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. So you got a lot of things. You just got to mind your own business. You can't just, you see a dude smacking the shit out of a woman. You gonna come try to save her. You don't know what the fuck she did.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I told the chick straight up. I said, look, I don't know what you did. I don't know if you fucking with that nigga. I ain't. And then on top of that, these females don't want to help them because you will help them get jumped or beat up or shot, stabbed, whatever for them, and they'll turn on you anyway at the end. Of course.
Straight up, I don't care if it's my damn sister. I don't know what the fuck she into.
Yeah.
You can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just run. You can't just run off of emotion. Oh, that's my sister. Her dude hit her. You don't know what she did.
Right. Now I'm gonna question the matter. What happened? Oh, but what did you do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, that's why I don't like fucking with you. You a bitch ass nigga.
Quick to say that.
Yeah. And that's another thing you gotta take too. See what they do when you say no.
Right, yep.
Motherfucker always gonna love you if you keep saying yes. But wait till that one time you say no and watch how many bitch ass fuck you are to them then.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So it's alright to say no.
So that's why we got this wisdom, man, because now we like, you know what, hey, that's the Lord. Hey, what's say, whoever perished being innocent, you gotta apply that to Indians. Hey, whoever I got the ass will be innocent.
You know that saying they used to say back in the day, Kim, my nigga, keep it moving. Keep it motherfucking moving. It ain't got nothing to do with it.
I must have to use that.
Man.
Kim Jong-un.
Right, exactly.
This is Job 4 and 7. Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent. So somebody, you might, see a little baby, like the house fire. Right. Some deep mystery is that guess what? Those children were not innocent. Most of their time. Before they came down here, the Most already set it up. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna be 4 years old, 3 years old, 7. You're gonna come back by a house fire. Because that might sound very terrible, which it is. That's a horrible way to go out.
Yep.
That's some scary shit, man. Especially if you're a child and you're there with no parents.
Right.
Well,
you gotta remember the scripture when Yahushua went to go heal the blind man. The bystanders that was around was like, well, what did he do? Is it something he did or something his parents did? So judgment can happen to a loved one, but it's really your judgment because, like I said, with my cousin, his mom, she was bugged out after that. So that was actually judged because the spirit, the soul went back to that. She had rest. She probably don't came back down by now.
So she ain't burning hell?
Huh? Hell? You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying that's a demon.
Yeah.
So that's a good way for us to talk about hell because a lot of people think you're gonna die and burn in hell.
Right.
When you die, your soul is freed, man. Your soul go right back up to the Father, like the brother's saying.
Yeah, but the point is like judgment comes from all angles. Okay, you might be fine today, you know what I'm saying? But like the dude at my job, he had some spinal shit he had to get surgery on. Now he walking around like Dr. Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying? He was fine.
Quasimodo.
Yeah, he was fine. He was like, the guy gotta be about 40, about 50. But now he don't have this disease. Now he walking around, you know what I'm saying? All weird and shit.
I got a precept. Book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. You know what I'm saying? Because like we trying to tell people these things, why this person got killed. Oh, that's judgment. They can't understand that. They don't understand that judgment. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't think the Lord would do that. And you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a cult you in. And they evil they damn self. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand why that person got judged that was righteous because he did something wrong. Man.
But you know what? Those are the same ones that's not gonna come to the light.
Yep.
Like I said in John, matter of fact, let me get that. So I haven't going on in a while.
Proverbs 28 and 5.
Those same people, those be the ones that will not come to the light.
That's why he said that but they that seek the Lord understand all things. If we out here seeking the Lord, we're gonna understand all things. We're gonna understand why that little girl, that little boy got killed in that car accident, or in that house, or why that dude got shot, why that chick got chopped up by her boyfriend because she was committing adultery. You know what I'm saying? Or she was or that kid got killed in that fire because it was an ancient spirit back in the ancient times. Didn't pay for they, sins. The Lord brought them back to pay for it. You know what I'm saying?
This is the book of John, chapter 3, and verse 18. He that believeth on him is not condemned. But he that believeth not is condemned already. So all these non-believers, you're already fucked. You know how to say, you're fucked.
You're already dead.
That's these people. They don't even know it, man. Famine's coming, nuclear destruction coming, pestilence. Racial tension is as high as it ever been. Because Esau is mad because Jake taking all his fucking women and his jobs and shit. Esau is pissed off, man.
I just seen I just saw somebody just posted up an Arab dude got pulled over by a cop, and man, he unloaded. He was talking about, he was cussing out the cop like, yeah, you Americans, I brought me in this wicked ass country, and like he was spazzing. He was sitting in the car, so the cop was calling up his buddies, calling for backup, and then so soon as some more cops came, they came in because he had the gun already. Man, the cop gonna try to go in the car trying to get him off, man. He let it out.
Shot the cop?
Yeah, he let him out. He shot them all in their face. He was letting them have it.
See, that's that judgment, man. Call all them like y'all about something else shot. More judgment is coming on you cops. See, I said it. Prophecy calls for it. You cops are fucking wicked. Now, hey, the why do y'all about shooting no shot? Because most of I had it where a lot of cops were peaceful with us, even getting pulled over. See, I'll tell you a testimony. One time, I was going to, I think I was going to get my daughter, and that's going to, fucking Trumpville. This is what we call it, Esau. Not a lot of Israelites down there. So they see a Jake, they pulling you over, Esau. So he pulled me over, and I stopped for, grew with our adversary quickly. So he came to the window, he said, hey man, you have your CDL, right? He said, here you go. I was like, call lawyer about shooting me outside. That's them being at peace with us. Yeah. And then right after I did that, because you know how when they pull you over, most people, they'll see a car pulled over and they'll get to the other lane. This dumbass nigga rolled right past me and the cop as the cop is talking to me. So you know what the cop did? Pulled him over. Yeah. He said, I'm gonna let you go, I'm gonna get him. Yeah. See, that's the spirit.
Well, you can read energy too. You know what I'm saying? So if a cop pull you over, you don't go automatically in hostile mode. Be like, how can I help you, officer? You know what I'm saying? It's just best to let him do all the talking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just speak when spoken to.
80-20. Let him do 80%. Y'all got, hey, here, there you go.
Yeah. Exactly. Let him get up out of there. But these jakes want to, I'm a sovereign citizen, I'm a Mormon, and my rights. And, you know what I'm saying? Right. I don't need no license.
Right, they think they know something. You don't know shit, man.
Right.
You black people, you don't know shit. You damn niggers. We hate y'all too. Fuck that. All right, 2/3 are not our people. Right. When I first came in the truth, that was hard for me to get. I'm gonna keep it real. Because I want all my people to be saved. Yeah. But as you get more seed and experience, you understand, like, these niggas not gonna make it.
It's not registering.
These niggas is not gonna make it, man. Right. You might see family members, siblings. Yeah, it hurts, it sucks, but hey, Lord willing, we are part of some of those elect members. They could very well come back as your children or next brother's children.
After a while, you get over it. You know what I'm saying? You get over it. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll get tired of arguing with these damn dummies.
Well, if you see a gang of black bitches just twerking in the store, blonde weave, purple weave. There's no hope for them. What you gonna do with that? You can't put a baby in a woman like that, man.
Yeah.
You be fucking crying. You be stressed the fuck out every day.
You just seen the other one when the dude came home and he found this girl in the bed with another dude and he found this little baby girl
On the floor. She falling out the fucking I forgot what you call it. It's like a swing
Crib.
set. She falling out the swing. You know, the bitch had her sleeping in there. She wasn't even in her bed. You know the little things that rock the baby to sleep. She never took the baby out because she was getting popped.
Yeah.
Fucking demons, man. These women are demons. These women are the number one breaker of homes. The Israelite man is not just gonna leave his woman. You really gotta think about that.
Right.
So if a man left his woman, she must have did some heinous shit.
Right.
You know?
And you really don't grasp the magnitude of it until you an older man and you really go through it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because as a boy, you be like, man, my pop's gonna, you know what I'm saying, dipped out on me, like, you know what
find
I'm
out
saying?
why.
Yeah.
Especially when you come into the truth. Deuteronomy 28, 58, 56, 57 tell you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, he left her because she running him off.
What it says is better to dwell on a rooftop with a lion or something.
For wilderness with a lion and dragon than a wicked woman.
Yeah, it's one with the rooftop. It's better to dwell on the
Corner of a rooftop than with a loud ass woman.
right.
There's a couple of scriptures like that.
Yeah.
The Bible goes in on a woman, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Fuck it, man. You know what I'm saying?
When you look at a lot of these red pill guys that talk about, woman dating, the foundation is always the scriptures. That makes sense what the apostle say. He said, man, we've been saying that since the 80s. You know? Like, damn, fucked up. Dating, dealing with a black woman. You know?
Jacob's trouble is that remedy though. That shit comes with it.
Man, nah.
I help you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you gotta look at it too. You dealing with a person that's under the same curse as you is. That don't make sense. Like what they say, surround yourself with like-minded people. In order for you to be successful, a lot of times it comes down to who you surround yourself with. You know what I'm saying? Because naturally, you know what I mean, you grow up being a follower, but you can't become a leader. So you falling behind, that happened to me. I was chilling with regular square niggas, you know what I'm saying, in the corner, you know what I'm saying, of the city, you know what I mean, like on a quiet street, and then here comes some thuggish, ruggish niggas come on the street, messing with a chick we was playing with, and now I'm introduced to this shit, now I'm hanging with them. Now my life fucked up because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I followed
the wrong crowd.
the wrong crowd.
That's normally how it happens to Jake. We call it a product of your environment.
Right.
You know, like especially with a lot of us who may have not had a father figure, one of your big homies might have been your father. He might have showed you how to do some things.
Right,
You might begin to look up to him. Before you know it, you're selling drugs and you're into all type of shit. Because it's called chemical warfare, man. Crack in the 80s.
And you can apply the blind leading the blind scriptures. Y'all both the same age, around the same age, and y'all teaching each other shit.
Yep.
Some wicked shit. You know what I'm saying?
Cause that's how it's always the one homie you know how to fight.
Yeah.
One homie you got all the connections.
You know how to steal cars, bag up, you know what I'm saying, narcotics.
Yep. One homie with the gun.
Exactly.
You know, one homie he know where the parties at. He got all the ladies.
Yeah.
You know.
You a bunch around a whole bunch of wickedness.
A whole bunch of wickedness, not even knowing, man. But hey, call lawyer out, man. Most High pulled us out of that shit.
Right.
You know.
That's solid. So that's crazy because that's like a movie. It's a storyline. That's your character. You can do that can fight real good. You can do with all the pistols. And that dude is all with the women. You know what I'm saying?
This dude always in jail. I'm saying free him.
Yeah.
Free Quan.
Right. But you can tell real quick. You can tell that everybody has their own spirit. Like I don't care what it is, cause I'll be looking at them. I say, yo, this motherfucker act like this, he like this, she like that. There's nobody the same. That's why they say
you're a character.
The sperm, like you that 1 million sperm that made it to the egg. Like you're special. It's none of the
Yup.
Sperms is like you. You know what I mean?
Yup.
So that's real.
Real.
You know?
And that means we all characters. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like have to get a character.
Right.
This is John 3:18. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already. So if you don't believe on the Heavenly Father and the Son and the sacrifice that Yahweh Shai made, you're already screwed. You know, Old Testament only niggas, you're screwed. You know, because you don't have the priest anymore, all right, and you don't have Yahweh Shai. So who do you have to cover those sins? Who do you have to pray to? You don't have anyone. You know, it says, because he had not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh. And this is the condemnation. The light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light.
That's what you just said. We just read that. You didn't believe in the name. You believe in JC. And that's why when you say the other God's name, that's a curse to you. So you know what I'm saying? You're under that curse. You know, when you believe in another God, that's a curse. That's an idol. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So imagine these people when shit defend. Oh, Jesus, help me, Jesus,
Right.
Jesus. I went to church every Sunday. Why are you not helping me, Lord? And you're not getting no answer. You know, kids crying, you hungry as hell, and you want answers. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to your pastor, and he's not gonna be able to give you answers. So you might just get mad and kill him. I really believe that. I believe a lot of these pastors, they're gonna get chased down by their congregation. And that's gonna be their judgment for lying.
As far as prophets too, and the head of these organizations.
I think Scripture says that too. You're gonna kill their own prophets.
Yeah.
You know, most I can put the spirit on, like, man, go and get Pastor Jones. You know, and bust the window out of his fucking Lexus.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I had to walk to church. This nigga driving past me in the Lexus.
But that's what happened to that's what happened to Eddie Long, man. All them young men that was, taken advantage of came out and, petitioned a lawsuit against them. So that was basically them coming for his head. You know?
It's gonna be more of that too.
Right.
Because now it's a big thing as well. A lot of these teachers, they just sleeping with the students. I noticed there's a lot of women.
Yeah.
So that shows you how the world is becoming more and more freaked out, man.
Yeah.
You know?
The morale is down.
Right.
Teachers is popping students and shit, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Sick fans.
This is John 3:19. And men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. So they're not going to come to the light. And this represents the light. Because this is where you can get that light shine on you for the correct answers. You know, when light shines on you, you've been sleeping for long. It don't really feel good. You know? You kind of, you need a minute. Your eyes got to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Verse 20. For everyone that doeth evil hated the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Really, you don't want to be corrected because you want to continue in that being that old man. You want to continue being an alcoholic, Joey from the block with the drugs, sagging his pants. You know, you want to continue to live that ignorant ass nigger lifestyle. We're telling you that you can't do that. You have to change your diet. You have to change your mindset. You know, you have to serve Yahweh Shemi Shai first, not about you. Right. You know, this is not what we're doing is not easy, man. This is a sacrifice. Us coming out here, you know, some brothers have different schedules, but yeah, we always out here. For the most part, we almost out here early. Right. And the Lord has us out here in the spirit, week in and week out. We're not proud for boasting, but we're really praising the Lord that we're even out here. You know, because it's not like we don't like being out here. We do. It's just us. It's just such a fight
to get here.
To get here throughout the week, we're fighting. Right. You know, some nights you can't sleep. So some nights you might have demonic dreams. Like, man, where the fuck that dream come from? Right. You know, Satan putting shit in your head. You know, you might have sleep paralysis, so-called witch riding your back, which that's a demon.
Right.
You know, we're always fighting. Demons do not rest. We have to rest in these fleshly bodies.
Right.
But these spirits that are running rampant, they don't have to rest. You know?
Well, I call it spiritual fitness.
Yeah.
Because just like say if they call it work fit, you know what I'm saying? You might be in pretty moderate to good shape if you're moving around on the job, but that's not going to build muscle. So you have to come home and actually work out to kind of, you know what I'm saying, get that extra. That's kind of what takes you from being good to the best, to better to the best. It depends on your workout regimen.
It's called Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Kobe Bryant, right? He was one of the coldest fucking athletes ever,
right,
because of his mentality.
Yeah.
When his teammates were going out clubbing,
yeah,
sleeping with different hoes, he was in the gym.
Yeah.
When his teammates were sleeping in, resting, he was in the gym.
Yeah.
You know, that's the sort of mentality that you have to have. You know, but it's like with that, you know, us doing this, it's like we have to have a work-life balance because, you know, you got to work because you still got to function
right,
in society.
Yeah.
But us, you know, like say athletes, they train for basketball year round. That's their job.
Monetary gain.
This is really our career.
Yeah.
Learning the Bible, applying the scriptures to ourselves, and teaching our people. But it's like we're kind of hold up from this because we got to spend 10, 11 hours at work all day.
To make a living.
So now when you get home, you kind of tired. You can't read like you want to.
Right.
See, that's part of the fight too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, imagine if we didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? If we had our own shit going on, we could do more.
Right.
You know, but it's a fight.
Right.
You know, like another reason why those guys are so cold is because that's their whole life. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I said Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
You know?
Or even when you look at Bruce Lee, how he trained so rigorous. They said that he probably died of exhaustion because he trained so hard. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, he was into philosophy. He created his own style of martial arts. Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, that dude, that was a bad dude.
You know what I'm saying? But when you look at his workout regimen, it was wild, man.
Imagine him and Davis Mighty Man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Could have been.
Beautiful.
He just came back as you know, like looking like a moron.
Yeah.
Because I think that now that on you, and I was meditating on that too with Bruce Lee. He got to be a Jake because no other so-called Chinese dude didn't do
Mesh well with Jake. Yeah.
Not even that, just him doing what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they said, you know, Jacob is the form of all things.
Yeah.
Nobody that from Moab came after him did none of that what he did. Great.
Right.
He loved our people, man. That whole he get that from Ali.
Yeah. He called
Shuffle.
Ali Shuffle.
I believe he called it Jeet Kune Do.
Jeet Kune Do,
which he mixed the two styles.
Yeah.
He took fencing and all that. You know what I'm saying? So he was the first mixed martial artist.
Yeah,
exactly.
They say he selected Sip Henny.
Mm-hmm.
That's shit too, dude.
And he surrounded himself with a lot of Jakes. I think
His first student was
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was his first African American.
His first student was a Jake though.
I do remember. Yeah,
his first student was
at the college.
Yep. Before he made up Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah. He had a Jake. But the most notable Jake was Kareem Abdul.
That's a badass fight style, man.
Yeah.
Wing Chun, Jeet Kune Do. And it's like whatever Jake do, he gonna master it.
Yeah.
Because you know it's part of our blessing.
Right.
Repetition is the form of all skill.
Right.
You know. This is back in Psalms, finishing off. Psalms 51 and verse 7. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're hoping for, man. You know, because if it was not, and we was judged to their sins, then we would be dead. We'll be through. No hope. You know. Verse 11, verse 10, excuse me. Create in me a clean heart, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. You know? Because without the Spirit, you're susceptible to all manner of demons.
Attacks. Yeah.
Like
wayward doctrine.
Possession.
Yeah.
No, like the one video, the dude came up. He said, let me go play with this pentagram. You know, that's
Crazy.
because the Holy Spirit's not dwelling with him anymore.
Yeah.
So where now his faith is in the pentagram.
Right.
And you know that's some satanic shit. Like even in the world, we know, like, yeah, you don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
That's Deuteronomy 28. It's like the madness. Astonishment of the heart.
Now you playing with pentagrams. That's very scary.
I remember talking to this Eve back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And I was ragging on how the Most High, you know what I'm saying, the power and stuff that, you know what I'm saying, he has. And then she was like, well, the devil got power too. I looked at this bitch like, what?
See, that's something a woman would say. But that was
Yeah.
a demon talking through her.
Yeah, exactly. Now that I, in hindsight, I look at it, I knew it was off then, but now I'm be like, man, this bitch is. You know what I'm saying? If I would have hooked up with her, oh my God.
She would have had you,
You know what I'm
she would have had you tied on the table about
You know what I'm
saying
saying?
I was about to do a
Some
ritual.
SMM shit. I don't fucking crazy, right?
Bitch told me, she said, well, can I do a tarot on you? Hell no.
Like tarot card reading?
Yeah, I'm not in that shit. Nope. I'm not doing that. No. Stir no.
Right.
Fuck no.
And they known to be into those, what's your sign?
Yeah.
You know, they into the astrological, you know what I'm saying? You know, what are my psychic you know, they got like a daily thing in the newspaper.
Yeah,
horoscopes. Your horoscope. What's my daily horoscope?
Yeah, these bitches are weird nowadays.
Witches,
man.
man.
They are witches. They're into weird sexual shit, man.
Right.
You know? They're into weird shit. You better off being single nowadays.
Right.
You know? You don't want to end up like Sakari.
Right. I was gonna say that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Letting the fucking woman bend you over. What kind of shit is that, man? What the fuck?
And honestly, they were supposed to report that.
Right, because how you a big, strong ass, you know, big ass beard, the dude bigger than all of us if you've seen him.
Right.
That's a big ass Jake.
Yeah.
To me, he don't look like a Jake. He look like a damn Arab.
Yeah, everybody say that.
Right.
But he, you know, he says father's a Jake. You know.
What was that Jake in the Obed? Remember that mixed Jake? Remember the mixed Jake where they was casting him off because I think his mom was
Yeah, you
mixed.
talking about one of the judges. You talking about
Oh, okay.
But they needed him
you talking about Jephthah.
to go to war.
Yeah.
They went and got him. Yeah, he like one of them because he was big as hell. Yeah, you know. But I guess his dad is Haitian and his mom is
So you say.
yeah, you know, and his mom is white or something.
White, yeah,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you say.
He saw
Right.
his dad. You know, his dad was in the military.
It says dad might have been into sodomy too. You know, that could be slander. I don't know.
Yeah. But the point is, the wife was supposed to report that. Like, yo, he off. He
Got
doing
demons.
stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He got us doing stuff.
Yeah, that's some weird. Imagine that shit. Oh, gorilla burning down the streets of the Bay Area. And then go home and have his wife put a strap on him.
That's it. He's steady denying it.
That's a lot of these men are doing that. So a lot of these bitches, they think it's cool. You know?
And still you guilty because that's iniquity of sin. Talking about it was just a fantasy. You still thought about it. It's a yeah, nigga.
Well, one of the videos that came out, they actually was proving that the nigga did it.
Right.
The text messages. But you could tell from the video, when he started crying, you could tell he actually did the shit.
Yeah.
You know? You got something?
Yeah. I was gonna wait till, cause you know, it kind of goes with I don't wait till the spirit rolls to it. You know what I'm saying?
Got something. This is Matthew 12 and 43. Matthew 12 and 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and finding none. And that's like Satan going up to him. You know, I'll get it in Job. Where say he walketh up to and from the earth. You know, what's he doing? He's just checking shit out. You know,
Yeah, he's doing his job. Trying to see who he can devour. know. It's like those 2-bit hustlers being them old movies. You know what I'm saying? You got some new people coming through the town. They like, yo, it's go time, yo. We got some, you know what I'm saying? We got some new, some newbies. And they running these little these little pins.
3-card Monty, some shit.
Yeah, all kind of shit. Card game, rigged up dice.
Oh, what, loaded night?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, loaded night.
Got the weight in it.
This is Job 2:1. And there came a day when the sons of God, okay, so that tell you something right there. Came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. So Satan presents himself before Yahweh. So that's order right there. When you say the Our Father prayer, it says thy will be done on heaven as it is in earth. Right? Because in heaven things are in perfect order. Satan is angels, and then Michael the Archangel, Raphael, Uriel, and all the righteous angels. That's in order. Yeah. At the end of the day, they all work for the Most High. There's no Satan got kicked out and he's just down here doing what he want.
Yeah. He running around road.
Right.
He bow himself when you go before the Lord.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Before you go to the king, bend the knee and say, my grace, you show respect.
My Lord,
like you see in one of those ancient movies.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is in heavens.
Yeah.
I've been watching Game of Thrones lately. That's us. That's us in the Dark Ages.
Right.
Because it got the symbol of the wolf. That's Benjamin.
Right.
Then the southern kingdom, Judah, the lion. That's the tribes, man.
Right.
You watch that show Game of Thrones, that's us during the Dark Ages. Judah and Benjamin. Like 7 seasons, fire. Then the dragons, there's a legend of the dragons, right? Which you're looking at the spiritual, the dragons are the chariots. Not a lot of people can ride those dragons. So that's like Elijah, Yahushua, not beaten up by the chariots. The dragons come through, people like, oh shit.
Right. So the second time that when you came up with me, I might go check. I watched it before I just couldn't, I'm impatient, so I like, get to it.
Go back and watch it again. You're going to say, oh shit, that's the southern, that's Judah, that's Benjamin.
What season you on?
I'm on 7 now. I'm out of it. Because once I put it together, like, okay, the dragons are the chariots, that's Judah, that's Benjamin, now it makes sense. Then they show you a part where they show you the church, like, okay, that's us doing the Dark Ages. That's the prophets. This is Job 2:1. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? So Satan is doing what? He's giving a report. You don't give a report to someone you rebelled against. Right. You tell them go after yourself. Right. But someone you're paying respects to, you report to.
Right. I don't see how Christians read that and get how he rebelled and he's come to the Lord and like you said, report. Report. Man, I don't cause war in Bosnia. Man, I just caused this earthquake in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
I made Nate go to Kenya.
Yeah, so they could throw rocks in here and gas bomb them. Everything's build a plan, Lord.
Right.
I made Gorilla,
Get paid by his woman.
And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. So that's what's going on. And you got some demons is levels to it. Like my Meek Mill is levels to this shit. Some demons are stronger than other demons, which is why you must continue to grow. Right. Because just like the video game. As you get closer and closer to what? The final boss, it gets harder and harder. So as we get closer and closer to our temptation, Jacob's trouble, it's going to get harder and harder. So you must level up. Or if not, the demon's going to get you.
Who's that? Legion?
Yep.
Remember they was like, why can't we cast? And it was like, some demons you have to fast and pray. You know what I'm saying? So you might not be dealing with one thing. He bought the game.
Bought 7 more with him.
He
said,
the whole hood.
It's Charlie Brown.
He said that one spirit. He said I found this body. I found this spirit, garnished and clean.
Yeah. Come eat.
He ain't got nothing in it. He ain't got this in him. So let's
Empty
go.
vessel.
Let's get him. Let's kick back and wax fat.
Wicked anyway.
Verse 3, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? You know what it means to consider something? That means you checking it out like that.
Right.
Before you buy something, you're going to consider
Right.
it. Okay, is there any damage?
Do I need it?
What are the reviews on this product?
Right.
You're considering. So that's what the demons are doing. Okay, this man, is he walking in the spirit?
Right.
Any chinks in his armor?
Exactly.
How can we get in?
Right.
Like when you watch, the reason why I like those shows, because that was us, but the way Esau put it out, like that was him, because he don't want us to know how great we are.
Right.
How much elegance, class our people had, the royalty. Like Jake actually had shit going on. We had knights, we had priests, we had prophets, you had judges, kings, and everything was in order. That's our history.
Well, yeah, because Esau has no history. So through process of elimination, like, where would you fit in? So you would have to go back into, the Caucasus, the Mount Petra, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would have to go
Georgia
back
Russia.
to that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It was always some Mount Seir, Mount Petra,
Right.
Caucasus Mountains. Because when you think about the Dark Ages, if we were ruling Europe, where was Esau? He was in
Exactly.
the Caucasus Mountains. So how could
Right.
you be in the Caucasus Mountain and you're sitting on the throne in England?
Right,
So
right.
that shows you that those kings were us. Because how the hell did the first slaves come from Portugal, Spain? Those Israelites down there. They didn't even come from Africa, but that's what they're not telling you.
Right.
You see about the coat of arms with the Moors, all that comes from the Israelites.
Yeah. The Russian icons.
Yep, that's a
No.
huge one. Book of Job 2 and 3, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? So that's what's happening. We're being considered.
Right.
That's why you go through shit. Really, you're like, fuck. You be pissed off, but you think about it, you start praying like, well, I know what it is.
Right. Well, you gotta look at it as, if it be your will, Lord, 'cause, I mean, what can you can't do nothing about it but pray and hope to get out of it, So, but it says you're supposed to take it cheerfully. You know what I'm saying? That's what we forget to do. Is like we gotta understand that this is a reality that our forefathers, in which we are our forefathers, we got ourselves into it. You know what I mean? By default, the prophets went into slavery too. So we going through it.
The kings too.
Yeah.
Because
Right, go finish.
he's the Most High that said he's no respecter of persons.
Right.
So the Most High said, I'm gonna put your king in captivity. Prophets, he told Jeremiah, you're gonna discontinue from your heretics.
Yeah.
You get
All
all
y'all
y'all.
going.
Right.
You get
Right.
everybody.
But that was a strategy. That's like a Trojan horse.
Yep.
For us, for the prophets to go, because he had to put us in captivity so we can
Blend in.
But not really that, but just to bring out the elect, and teach the elect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he hit us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He hit us within that Trojan horse.
Yep.
So you got, you got the good mixed in with the bad. I think like Ali said, he said there was a thousand snakes, however many, and he said half of them was non-poisonous. Am I gonna open the door and let all of them in? He said, no, I'm gonna close the whole door because I can't
Taking no risk.
take a risk and saying, oh, these ones is good or non-venomous. And so the Lord had to do it like that. Just like with the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? He let Esau take a hold of it to preserve it. You see what I'm saying? For us.
Right, and we thinking that, oh shit, I remember growing up, seeing images of, we always believed in God because we had that zeal, but not according to knowledge.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was younger, my grandpa always had the scriptures open. We might have been watching something on TV or something. And the prayer, like, oh, let me go pray. But that's the zeal. But not even knowing that that's not even the right God.
Right.
But that's how strong the connection is with this book.
Right.
But
the truth was in there all along.
all the whole time, it was right there.
Right.
It's just like having an atomic weapon on you. You had it all that whole time.
Right.
You had a weapon on you, didn't even know.
Right.
Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord, for he shall be like a heath, like a heath in the desert, and shall not see when good. Heath means stuff in destitute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you're in the desert, you're destitute of water. You know what I'm saying? So this is the water right here. You know what I'm saying? And that desert could be here because why? Because it's like you can't really see straight, like the dust kicking in your eyes, everything. Like when you know how you see those cartoons and stuff, and when you be in the desert, he starts seeing like illusions, mirages and stuff like food and water, and then when you get up to it, it's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we in this place destitute of what? The truth, the water. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and we trust in men. You know what I mean? A lot of our people trust in what the white man going to do for them. That's why a lot of them gonna take that karate. You know what I'm saying? And we'll keep on. Finish. And like a heath in the desert, and shall not see when good. So we ain't gonna see what good is coming. You know what I'm saying? This is the good right here. Our people walk past and don't want to hear or don't want to see what we about to get salvation. They'd rather go to the white man or these bullshit ass churches to get the truth.
One chick came up, he told us, he said, man, don't talk about Billy Graham.
Right, I remember that, yeah.
You know, he's ready to square up. He said, you know, so these niggas, they'll fight for Billy Graham.
Wasn't that tall Jake?
The tall
that
one.
was over there?
He came back,
there.
he was cool. But the first time, he was pissed off. You know?
Hold on, finish. For he shall be like a heath in the desert, and he shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit a parched place in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabit it. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, whose hope the Lord is. So this how we trust in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That he don't get us from this hell place, man.
And the Lord has always answered our prayers. Let's just be honest. You know, you might have been going through some shit. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this.
17:6.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. At the last minute, Most High make a miracle happen, man.
Right.
You know, but that's good though, because the Most High is doing things. The Most High is doing things, right? But when the day of trouble cometh, you're gonna think upon the times that you were in trouble and you called upon the names, and then every time the Most High came through, that's gonna be like spiritual gas in your tank.
Right.
You know, to help you get to the end.
I'm gonna give you a testimony, quick testimony. You know, got paid Thursday. I'm already broke. I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? Bills and all that. And guess what? Only had like $40 left. So my boy called me up to take him to work, do a run around. You know what I'm saying? And then he gave me the extra 20 so I can get extra food. So I was damn near got no food in my house, but the Lord came through. You know, to help me out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Add what I already had a little bit, but you know, I was able to get some food.
Pushed it over.
Yep, you know what I'm saying?
And that's how I do it. You might not think like, damn man, I'm gonna eat. Most I make a way.
Right.
Just like when that 2020 first happened, when everything all closed, the thing, Walmart got everybody went there and bought everything out. I was like, man, I ain't gonna be able to get nothing to eat, man. They're gonna clean out the stores and shit. Then Brother Joseph called me up that same day, yo, man, I already got, on my job, they're giving out food, bro. You want anything? I got you, Shit. Next 2 weeks later, came with $250. He hooked me up.
See, that was spiritual, man. Yep. That whole time, it was like I wasn't even expected to do that, man. How long y'all got some else? I know my employer, he didn't say, well, we gotta test you, we gotta take the note, none of that. You know, I still had work. I think I was delivering. I had a delivery job. You know, I was doing Buffalo. It was like the Most High preserved us through that. All of us, man.
Yeah.
None of us had to take the jab. You know, test. None of us lost our job. You know, or if a brother did lose his job, the brother had found a better one.
Right.
You know, and what the Lord said, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Yeah.
You know,
He looked out for me. That was my faith up war, man. When that shot 2021 came around, oh man, I ain't had to take that shot. He got me. Everybody on my job took that shot. Everybody was looking at me all wide-eyed, looking at me funny, like you live, man, looking at me and shit weird. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I said, man, I already know how that shit gonna be when that shit come out. People were like asking me, like, oh, you ain't gonna take the shot? why you gonna take the shot? Trying to justify, oh, you got sick people. Well, you be around your grandmother. And I said, well, my grandmother just died. She live in New York. Well, I don't really go around people. Oh, what? That's them. They took the shot. Why I gotta take the shot if they took it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, like make it make sense. They was hot at me at my job.
Right.
Son. They was giving me mad look. I love the tension.
The Lord really looked out, man. Then my seed, she was born like 7 days before that shit happened. She was born on the 28th. That shit happened, March 7th?
Yeah.
So we didn't have to deal with the hospital shit. Because imagine that would have happened, they probably wouldn't have let us leave. It's like, oh, you guys got to take this or you can't leave the hospital. So that's a miracle. That's how that would come a couple days early.
Right.
You know?
Well, I went through it. I actually, my daughter was born, I think it was 2021. So it wasn't the year of COVID, like when it hit. But, you know what I'm saying? They had me up there scared to hold my own daughter.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know. You in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? So the nurses is looking at you weird, like, you know what I mean? I was like, well, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Possibly, you know what I'm saying? You know? So I don't know what's up in this hospital, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, you know what I'm saying? You know, through the faith, you know, I know I didn't have nothing, but, you know, but it was just weird how they was just trying to critique every little thing you did. Like, they looking at you funny, like, you ain't gonna put a mask on, and so now you thinking, like, you know what I'm saying, you got some shit.
There was some people, they weren't letting you leave unless you and your child, the whole family got the jab.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a blessing that they ain't even, you know, even try you like that.
Right. Yeah, so it's, you know, it was damn sure like the Lord, you know. But I just wanted to say too, it's a blessing for us even being over here in America, in a sense, because look at the immigrants trying to get over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for a better opportunity. Look at how Africa is kind of, you know, in dire straits in certain areas. You know what I'm saying, where our people, remnants still over there. So the Lord preserved us still over here in America.
That's mercy.
Through slavery. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, right now we're last. You know, we're dead last in this society, man. We look at the, you know, the top groups that are doing well for themselves.
Right.
The Israelites are not in that top 10.
Right.
You know, homeowners. A lot of our people don't own homes. They're renting, or they're living out their cars, or they're living with family members. Jake mostly have a fucked up living situation.
Right.
You know, our people are in prison, they're on drugs.
Right.
So we're last in the society.
Right.
But in the world to come, we're gonna be first.
Right.
And it means that, like, we're gonna, you know, the Lord, as the one scripture says, before they pray, before you finish your prayer, I'm gonna answer.
Right.
You know, like you might have been praying for something for weeks. You know, you might like, man, why ain't it happened yet?
Right.
Imagine before you done praying and you get it.
Because the Lord already know. You know what you need. He just wait for you to ask. Just like my children, they be up there, you know, they be mumbling, yeah, you know, they want to snack about it, a thing.
Yeah.
I already know what you want, but you need to tell me what it is you want before I can go get it. I can't just go up there and grab something because you're going to tell me, nah, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
Well, you got to voice it. Use your words. You know what I'm saying?
This is Revelation 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So that whole 2020, that was like a test run, you know, for what's coming, really. Because they're gonna have to. They're gonna have a scenario that they're gonna want to take advantage of. Because who's that? Winston Churchill. He said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste."
Oh, yeah.
So now they're saying that's a new strain of the.
I know y'all heard about the I don't know if he Northern Kingdom not shot those fake Jews, the J Dubs over a few days ago at some NBC and shit. He shot both. He shot the dude. He supposed to be some type of some big dude or something, you know, in the FJ community, you know, some Senate house or something. Shot him, shot his wife. It's some young couple, you know what I'm saying? It's been all in the news, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's like an act of terrorism, but he's supposed to be a Spanish brother over that Palestine shit, you know what I'm saying? So they might use that as a...
Oh, they gonna use that.
Yeah.
because that's one of their core beliefs. Order out of chaos and never let a good crisis go to waste.
Yep.
So whatever angle they could use to attack our faith from and to persecute us, they're going to do it because the Lord said, if the world hated you, know that it hated me first. So they're gonna have to have a reason to hate us. And one of the main reasons for them to hate us is how we're going to be portrayed in the media, which means the green screen shit, the deep fake.
Yeah.
They might take your face. This guy did this.
But that they did that. They show you that they did that in the original Birth of a Nation. They demonized Jake. They made us look like rapists. The white woman was all in, disarray and help me, and you know what I'm saying. They had Esau dressed up in blackface. You know what I'm saying, running around like a wild savage beast. You know what I'm saying? So they made a propaganda machine against us. You know what I'm saying? They put it on film. It was like one of the first films that they made, you know what I'm saying, was Birth of a Nation.
This shit right here.
Oh, okay. Says 2 Israeli embassy staffers were shot dead outside Capitol Jewish Museum. That's gonna be used for the persecution.
Plus, the dude that did it supposed to be the Northern Kingdom. Israelite.
Well, see, that's that war on the what's that, Northern Kingdom? That's a war on you know what I'm saying? So they're actually gonna, you know what I'm saying, use divide and conquer tactics to separate us. Because obviously they'll hurt us talking about, you know what I'm saying, we brethren, you know what I'm saying, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom are gonna come back together. So now they're creating the boogeyman to attack the Southern Kingdom and Jake simultaneously. You know what I mean?
And then ICE don't struck again somewhere. Just it was like a big ass riot, but they just snatched the mother and the daughter out of their house, man. Everybody on the whole block was fighting.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. What's going on? That's
rousing up. Yeah.
This is Rev 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. Now, the hour of temptation is talking about the time period or season to where the whole world is going to be tempted to take the mark of the beast, the haragma, which is a physical mark that they want to put inside of you for identification, for all manner of transactions, bartering, buying and selling. Because your dollar is slowly but surely becoming worthless, valueless, and obsolete. All right, that's why whatever they're paying you, you can't live off it because your dollar don't have any value. It's just so much knowledge to where people don't even carry cash like that. Or if you do, you don't have much cash. Now you pretty much have numbers in the bank accounts. That's it.
I can tell you, I know my job started. They want to get that eye thing that you get in.
That's the matrix scan?
Yeah, they biometrics. And biometric shit. They're gonna be getting that on my job soon.
So my job, they had somebody smoked at one of the plants. So now everything is all metal detected out. We need to look at your phone. So it's becoming more like policing.
Yeah.
You said somebody got smoked. What?
The plant in Tennessee, over a woman.
Oh, okay.
Dude slept with his woman, popped his ass right in front of the job. Adultery.
Right.
Rev 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. I believe when you look at the root word of the word try, the word is pera, which means through the idea of piercing. So that's like right there. They actually have it in their mind. They have an idea to electronically tag you to own you forever. But we're here to warn you against that, to let you know that that's going to get you destroyed. To not take that, to trust in the Lord. So I'll give a couple more on for you. This is Psalms 91, verse 1. like a header says, the secret place of the Most High. You know, that's really, you know, it's the altar, scriptures, the brotherhood. You know, it's not everyone. A secret place. You can't find a secret place. You gotta have, you know, you gotta know something. You gotta know the password.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like a secret club. You go to the door, but you don't have the password. So what's the password? Password would be the name. So what's the name? The name is Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. That's the key. Right, what the Lord told David, I give you the key of the kingdom, roughly paraphrasing, which is pretty much the name. You know?
Yeah.
Psalms 91:1, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. 2, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. We're not trusting in Esau. We're not trusting in the system. We're not going down to Egypt for help, because that's going to lead to you being destroyed. The only thing you should trust in is Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, and think upon the past deliverances. That's going to be very key in these last days. You know, all the time the Most High delivered you. You call upon the name.
Right.
That's what's going to keep you. That's what's going to build your faith.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's a saying, the Most High ain't give me this far to drop me.
Yeah.
You know. Verse 3. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler. So that whole, you know, the whole jab 2020, that was a snare for a lot of people. A lot of these dumbasses, they got so scared that they say, you know what, I don't want to die. I'm gonna go let them poke me. You know, but then you go let them poke you, and you get sick. You might get the palsy. Your face might be drooping on one side.
That happened to my supervisor on my job. Face drooping on the side because you don't got the shots, the booster shots. And I'm trying to tell the dude, I'm like, yo, you know, eat from silly dog. You know what I'm saying? And I said, yo, man, you took them shots, man. No, the doctor said it was something that. I was like, nah, man, that didn't happen. No, you from that ass shit. You took that shot. No, because you are subject to these conspiracies. Word, you all jacked up now.
Yeah, he feeling like boo-boo fool now. You know what I'm saying? Embarrassed and shit, trying to make excuses. But I was just watching this YouTuber. He was doing like a reaction video, a response video to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was talking about, he was doing like the data on the numbers of how many people died. He said over 600,000 through 700,000 died. He said that was more than the Vietnam War. Some war he was saying. It was more people died from that than that. And then it was some type of clotting, like looked like white worms, where they had to suck out the clots in people's veins and shit.
Yeah, the coroners are finding, right?
The coroners, the autopsy.
They're finding all these people that took those jabs. They're finding huge clots of blood that's been forming, coagulated, and they know it's from the jab.
Exactly.
From where you took, at least maybe like 70% of people in America took that jab.
Yeah.
You know, then let's say like 60%, they might have took the jab and a couple boosters.
Yeah, like 3.
You know?
8.
So there's one dude that came to camp, I remember, he said he took like 3 or 4 boosters.
Oh,
you know? That Jake at the memorial, I don't know if y'all remember.
Yeah.
He came up, he said, yeah, man, I took the jab and I took 3 boosters.
So these motherfuckers is walking clickers.
Yep.
Running around here.
Like
you know
that show, what's that
The
show?
Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have those fucking tentacles, those barnacles growing out their fucking head.
So they just wait to be activated. So
Exactly.
Esau's a mad scientist, man. He might have some type of hit a switch, the 5G signals.
Remember that show? Remember a while back on TikTok, they were showing some black goo look like the Venom symbiote, and then when the vibration, that thing started to move. That's what they said is in that shot. You know what I'm saying? That vibration, that calling that sound, man, then they're gonna be bugged out, be doing crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know Amazon has a fucking zombie preparedness
Kit.
Oh, you seen that shit on Walmart with the dude got attacked in the bathroom and the zombie bit him?
Sit out and started roaring, screaming.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that shit happened in Miami years ago. They say he tried to say he was on bath salts.
Bath sauce. Yeah.
I think it was on that bad salt.
Right.
Niggas got that serum.
Raisins.
This is Psalms 91 and 4. 4. I'll read 3 again. Psalms 91 and 3. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler. So that's the snare of the fowler. The mark of the beast. So what's the snare? The trap. You know? What is Esau? A cunning hunter. You know, so our people being led as a flock to the slaughter by the cunning hunter. So he's setting a trap for you so you can fall in. So that's the reason for the poor economic conditions, the stagflation, the inflation. Right. You know, because Esau wants you on your knees going to the government for help. But in order for you to receive that help, he's going to want you to take something.
Right.
You know?
Saying you don't get something for nothing.
That goes back. That's why I see Esau, like you say, he's a cunning hunter. That's why throughout the years in America, he overdosed everything. He allowed you to get food, how much you want, do this and do that, because he knew in latter time he's going to take it from you.
Right.
And that goes back to ancient Egypt. They had 7 years of plenteous and 7 years of famine.
Yeah.
So what happened during that 7 years of famine? People sold they sold their cattle, then they sold their land, then they sold their own bodies as servants. So at the end, by the time those 7 years were over of famine, the Pharaoh owned everything.
Yeah.
The modern day Pharaoh is the elites.
Yeah.
You know? So right now, people don't really own shit. And that's a saying that they have too. You own nothing and be happy. So you don't own any land that you can sell, or you don't have cattle.
Yeah.
So where you going to put the damn cattle at?
Yeah.
You know? So the only thing you have to offer up is your body. And one thing about ancient Egypt, when you read that, it says money failed. And money failed in Egypt. So money is failing all over again. History repeats itself.
That's why I don't think you don't trust in certain riches.
Yeah.
That's what you call a financial collapse. You know?
So that's what the bankers did in 2020 with the whole CV-19. It was a monopoly move. They had to change some things around because they knew the system was gearing up to change. So that's why you saw a lot of the infrastructure as far as a lot of the commercial storefront businesses shut down because everything was going online. Everything you want, you can buy it off Amazon. You can buy groceries. You can do SNAP benefits to buy groceries.
But check this out, to back you up.
Yeah.
What if you don't have, let's say you're an elderly person, you don't know how to use a computer.
Right.
How do you do your shopping now? All you know about is cash, and you might have to write somebody a check.
Right.
That's being done away with.
Yeah.
Trump is doing away with Department of Government Efficiency. They've done away with government checks.
Yeah.
So they're doing away with the penny, right?
Yeah.
Next is going to be the nickel, the dime, the quarter.
Yeah.
So they're doing away with all forms of physical cash, pretty much. Because if you cash a check, what you going to get? Cash.
You're right, because my mom, before she passed, it went from her getting a Social Security check in the mail to it was on a card. So we already know that the card got a chocolate chip in it. Yep. So now, what's the next step? To insert that in your inward part.
Even people that get income taxes.
Right.
Saying they get it on the card now. You just get a
turbo,
check.
Turbo tax.
Yeah. Get it on the card.
So the system has changed. The infrastructure, the matrix has changed.
And then you got Elon Musk saying there will be no cell phones by 2030. So what's going to be the cell phone? You are going to be the cell phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine you getting a C-hip, you can pretty much, snap your finger and call people, whoever you want to talk to. You got the chip. Your chip is acting like your chip is acting like a damn phone, so you're talking to people in your head.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get that article real quick.
So that's that transhumanism, the bonding of man and machine.
Steve $6
million man, yeah.
This is from timesofindia.com. Elon Musk says there will be no phones in the future. Tesla's CEO Elon Musk believes that there will be no smartphones in the future. Instead, the future will be dominated by Neuralinks. Musk was replying to a parody account that asked, would you install a Neuralink interface on your brain to allow you to control your new phone? So they're telling you right there without telling you. You know, so if they do away, would it make sense? Because that chip, that's going to be one of the miracles. I believe the people that take that chip, they're going to be able to speak all languages. They're going to be able to do all type of shit because they got the chip.
Yeah.
Because it says he's deceiving them by means of those miracles. You know?
Well, it shows you that in the movie The Matrix. Remember they had the thing in the back of their head where they could download different
fighting styles. We see I know Kung Fu.
Well, yeah, they was able to download different like Windows or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? You know, different skill set programs. So I mean, that's not too far fetched to think that whatever the chip is that they're gonna, you know, mandatorily put into effect is gonna have that.
Then it's gonna work with AI. So you type in AI to fucking write me up a monthly budget. You know, whatever you want, that shit can do it in seconds.
Right.
Part of those miracles.
Because they call this right now, they call this a mini computer. Pretty much, you know, back in the day you had the IBM, the big ass computer. You know what I'm saying? Anything you could do on a computer, you can do on this smartphone. So-called smartphone.
You know? To Psalms 91, verse 3. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare that follows. So that's the trap Esau got laid. But you take the mark of the beast. But the elect are going to be covered from that. You know? And from the noisome pestilence. That's the nuclear destruction. 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fly by day. So even leading up to the nuclear destruction, there's going to be all manner of wickedness and evils, you know, such as famine, you know, torch, you know. The Lord said, don't fear nothing that you're about to suffer, man, because it's some scary shit. You think about, you just sit down and think about being apprehended and took to a camp and have your head in the guillotine. That's some scary shit. The Lord said, don't fear that though. But if you be faithful, I'm gonna give you a crown of life. Even if they kill you, I'm gonna bring you back.
Right.
You know, that's really the core of our faith. Because we're faith-based Israelites. We believe if we die, we're gonna die in the Lord gonna bring us back.
Right.
You know?
Well, you know, how I look at it, man, you know, it's like that's somebody that's attached to this world. Like, yeah, you want to live to see, you know what I'm saying, the next day. But really, like, to see what? The same bullshit over, keep happening. Gotta keep bowing down to these weak ass Edomites at the job. Gotta keep biting my tongue. I'll be ready to crash them fools, man, but I don't do it.
That's the reason why the Lord afflicting us the way He afflicting us, in our bodies, in our pockets, in the way we. So when that time comes, we'll be like, I ain't got nothing here. I'd rather die. I'm going through body elements right now. Go ahead and chop my head off, man.
Yeah, take me out of my misery, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we want to live. You know, we want to live to see, you know, ride off into the sunset. But in reality, we know that's not gonna happen for everybody.
It's like when you take, there's certain herbs you take, a certain of them are bitter, right?
Yeah.
They don't, like black seed oil. That's called the cure-all for everything.
Yeah.
But if you just take some black seed oil, it's nasty as hell.
Right.
But it's very good for you.
Right.
So that's like what the Lord is doing with us.
Yeah.
You know, all these trials and tribulations is very bitter, but it's curing us. Because now we got the spirit of fucking.
Withdrawing you from getting detached from this world, like
right.
You ain't. I don't care. Like I don't care about it because there's nothing to go back to.
Well, because that scripture that tells you, he that feareth to lose his life, no, he that seeketh to save his life shall lose it.
Get that.
And he that, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good precept.
So you can't, you know, can't hold on to this.
2/3 gonna.
It's temporal.
2/3 gonna.
They're gonna bug the fuck out. Because they want to live to fulfill all their dreams of being a millionaire.
Luke 17:30.
You know what I'm saying?
Start at 30. You'll have to read down to like 35 or 6.
This is the book of Luke 17, and verse 30. And it says, even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed.
Go up. Go to like 26.
Yeah, I got it marked. Luke 8, is it 18 and 26? 17 and 26. And it says, and as it was in the days of Noah, or Noe as it says, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man.
Right, so in the days of Noah, what happened? The things were very violent. You know, the sons of God, you know, they were violent. They had spiritual power. You know, if you watch, there's an anime, right, called Attack on Titans, and it shows you the giants. You know, see, they put a lot of shit in these cartoons, movies. You know, you might think it's a kid show, you brush it off. But if you really look at it, you can see how they got their storyline from the scriptures. Because when you think about the giants, you think about who? The Nephilim. So you got to go back to Genesis 6 and read about the Nephilim.
Right.
Which the Nephilim are not angels that came down and had sex with women, because angels can't have sex with women.
Right.
Angels don't have sex because they're in a different body.
Exactly.
Now, an angel can, you know, how can I put this? Like, he can't transfigure to look like a man, because Raphael did it to Tobit and Tobias. Right. You read the book of Tobit, that's a beautiful read. Right. So an angel can come in the form of a man, right, but an angel's not coming down here to have sex with a woman. It's not going to happen.
It's not the mission.
So another word for an angel is a messenger.
Right.
So when you look at the word Nephilim, the word means fallen, because at that time, the sons of God fell from grace, because what they did was they had sex with the daughters of men, you know, just like Jacob's doing today, and they wasn't raising those children up to know Yahweh. Right. They was raising them up to follow heathen gods. So the Most High got pissed off. You know, the Most High don't like that. The Most High's a jealous power. Right. So from that, that's how we fell from grace. That's how we always fallen from grace.
Yeah, that's the curse. That's the curse, because it says, ye are gods, but ye shall die like men. So
when you go back to the time of Solomon, what did he do? In his old age, he began to build altars and things for his heathen wives, you know, to please them. But that made the Most High angry.
Right.
So from there, the Most High did what? Split the kingdom. He allowed the Assyrians to get the northern kingdom. He allowed the Babylonians to get the southern kingdom. So from there, we fell from. Whenever we started intermingling with these nations and started to, you know, pay homage to their gods, that's where the issues always came.
Yeah.
You know, so if you think about the days of Noah, that's what was happening. Our people were being very wicked, they were violent, and they had spiritual power. Imagine that. You know?
Right.
Imagine the wicked ass fucking.
The brother from the West Coast had a dream. He said he did a lesson when he had a dream when the flood was coming. He said Jake was flying up in the air trying to, like, going Avatar, trying to control the water, but the water was too strong. They just washed him out. That was heavy.
Jake probably, you know, Jake was trying to do some shit to stop it.
Yeah.
Save themselves. You know? It didn't work.
Perhaps his power way greater. Like, I gave you that power, so you already know how to get you.
Right. And 27, they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Right, and the point there is that Noah was preaching to them that whole time. You know, what were they doing? They were going about their daily life. Noah, you crazy? We never seen rain before. You know?
Right.
Like, he crazy. Don't listen to him. He building a boat. Where is he going? So they just brushed it off until those rains started dropping. Then it started continue to drop. Then before you know, it's up to your damn neck. Now they're panicking, banging on the ark, trying to get in. You know?
Cause you kind of get nervous now when you see when it be raining for days, like it rained all this. God damn, it raining all day. And then you get the flash floods and you be like, oh shit, this shit getting real around here.
But then what? You might see a rainbow. Now that rainbow, Esau, these fucking demons, they took it as a symbol of homosexuality, wickedness. That's the covenant that the Lord ain't gonna flood the earth anymore. So when you see that, that's supposed to comfort you.
Right. Yeah.
So like, no matter how much it rain, okay,
Eventually.
the Lord's not gonna destroy us like that.
The
So
sun
now
don't
we're
shine.
saying that the flood's gonna come by fire, nuclear fire.
Right. Hence the lake of fire. Right.
Which is gonna be America from what? If you're looking at it from, think about it, you're looking at it from a dragon, speaking in tongue, parable. But if you're looking at it from a bird's eye view off a chariot, it's gonna look like, damn, the lake is on fire.
Yeah, because everything gonna be ablaze. So you ain't gonna see nothing but fire. Just like when you do a fire pit, you burn, the wood burning. You know what I'm saying? That's just like a mass of fire. It's just in an area where there's fire burning. So imagine everything we see on fire. So that's gonna be wild, right? And it says, and the flood came and destroyed them all. 28. Likewise, also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded.
They thought Lot was crazy.
Right.
It's like, man, you tripping. Or that fire and that brimstone came. They say the same shit about us. You guys are out there. You've been out here for years. Every week, ain't nothing happen.
Right.
But what happened during 2020? Everybody started calling you and shit.
Right.
People got nervous.
Right. Yeah, they wanted to hear it all. Confident scripture. What scripture should I use, brother, for the religious exemption?
I don't get those calls. I'll get hit up on Facebook and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I had to tell my own woman a few scriptures to use.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She got it too. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's the Holy Spirit.
Then they ended up stripping that away. You get this motherfuckers or else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They mask got pulled off. They try to come out crouching. Hey, we'll give you a voucher, $100. You know what I'm saying? Do it for Nana. You know what I'm saying? Then them death threats came in. 29. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. 30. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away.
Because you might not be able to.
Right.
You never know the scenario. Like, it could be a setup, troops could be there, or you might not be able to because of
chaos.
Just getting there. Just how chaotic it's gonna be.
Right. Too risky.
Because you have to go to work, right? You never know unless Most High put the spirit on you to call off that day.
Right.
I'll be praying that shit, man.
Hell yeah. Please let me call in that day.
Right.
Some days you be like, man, fuck that, I'm not going there. And that could be the day something happened at your job. You never know.
Right. And it says, and he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back.
Right, that's you in the field. That's you, pretty much you working. You're out.
32. Remember Lot's wife.
We said that earlier, right? Because what did Lot's wife do? She looked back because really she loved that lifestyle. She probably was looking lavish. These bitches love their gay friends. That's a new thing. This woman always got fucking gay friends. The woman tried to talk to me. I didn't fuck with her because she had a homo with her. You can't talk to a bitch like that.
Right.
Yeah,
now y'all on fucking dinner dates together.
Yeah.
The third wheel.
She want to have, you have to like my, bitch, no I don't.
Right.
You gotta be cool with my gay homies. Look out here.
Who told you that?
Really, you ain't supposed to be talking no other man anyway.
Right.
When you in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? This is my best friend from middle school. Yeah, not anymore. And it says, here we go, the point 33. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it.
Right, so you got in the spirit like, man, you know, I'm gonna save my life. I'm gonna take the chip, do it for my family. You're gonna lose horribly.
Right.
Because you're dealing with the devil.
Right.
This man can promise you the chip, you take it, and you still won't eat. You
Yeah.
still won't get your family.
Right.
You know?
Well, he done his job. You don't took the chip. So basically you forfeited, you know what I'm saying?
Your birthright, really.
Exactly.
Your salvation.
Yeah.
You know?
So you pretty much denounce the Lord, because that's gonna be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Say I'm God. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, denounce the Lord, you know. Take this, you know, this right device. And it says, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it.
Right,
See?
so Lord willing, that's us. Because it's going to come to the point to where it's going to be like, hey, you're going to do this,
Right.
or we're going to decree that you're going to die. As it says in Revelation, he calls it, who has not worshipped the beast in his image should be put to death.
Right.
And it means just that.
Right.
Because in Revelation 20 it said, those that will be beheaded for not worshiping the beast in his image.
God.
You know?
I got a precept. Some precept with that. The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye, depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you with a sore destruction. So that means, you know, don't be attached to it, man. Let it go. This ain't your rest, man. You ain't got nothing here. So if you're trying to keep what you have, it's going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take that prerogative, and then you're going to get the nukes on you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hurt. That's why you say it's going to hurt you with a sore destruction. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get grievous sores on you. You know, you're going to get brain cancer from it, whatever, you know. And like you just said, you might not even still don't even fucking be trusting the damn devil.
Might still take, well, you're going to take nukes regardless if you take it, but you might not, you know.
Yeah.
You might not be able to be a part of the smart cities.
Yep.
But if you do take it and they don't like something that you do,
They
gonna cut it off.
Yeah.
But I believe also too, the people that take that, they gonna have heavy demonic possession on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not even gonna be themselves anymore.
Right.
That's just like we just said when they took the jumpy. You know what I'm saying? It was flipping on you because you didn't take it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when they take that too, they're gonna be spazzing. Because you didn't take it, they're gonna be trying to throw you under the bus, call on you and stuff. That's why he said, Lord said, yo, away from your family because they're gonna turn on you.
Yeah. They're gonna feel compelled to do it because that's gonna take over.
Yep.
It's gonna take over their logic, way of thinking, rationality. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they've been possessed.
Plus, they're just
So they want you to be possessed.
Possessed.
Brother
Basically,
Hiram.
Yup. Yeah, that was that book. Misery Love Company, because they're gonna be bitter. They know, because they know.
Yeah, they're gonna be shamefaced.
Face it. Yup. They're gonna be bitter.
Yeah.
This is Psalms 91 and verse 6. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Verse 7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. I remember one time my great grandmother, before she had passed a couple of years, this is before I came to the truth. She just had called me one night. She was crying and she was reading Psalms 91 to me. I was like, what the hell? I just before I was in the truth, so I didn't know what she was talking about. And I'm just, you know, college doing my thing. She called me crying. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell does this mean? And I think about it. She was reading that scripture to me. The Spirit made her do that. What the hell? You know, Lord willing. I remember that now. She called me crying, reading Psalms 91. She really had no reason to do that, except the Most High made her do it.
Wow. Yeah, that's what the Lord will do. He'll use people in your life to relay messages to you.
Watch your back there.
That's what
Shalom.
He'll do it like that. You know what I mean? I had many encounters with people, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying with Sire, you know what I'm saying? Of all places, if he was in some type of bar, but he came up to me and said, the Lord told me to tell you this. He said, you can go on, brother, and live your life. And at that point, I was at like one of my lowest points in my life. I was like, actually, you know what I'm saying, plagued with a depression demon. You know what I'm saying? But soon after he said that, things started getting on the up and up, man. I met my wife.
You felt that weight come up
I
off.
felt the weight, but it's not just at that exact moment, but things turned around a little bit after. You know what I'm saying? You know, because my sister had passed, and my cousins them, you know, tried to take my mind off of it, so they took me out of town, and I met my wife out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, I started to have children. I had my first son. So everything started to switch around. You know what I'm saying? Come on. The Lord.
This is Psalms 91:7. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Meaning, a lot of people we know, you know, loved ones, friends, people we grew up with, high school and shit, they said you already see them dropping like flies. You know, people passing away, man. You know?
Yeah, the water, bro, because he looked like he was about to do something. He looked kind of, you know what I'm saying? Mischievous.
You never know. There was one dude like that, he pulled a knife, he was just standing there like we didn't see it. And over there too, a couple times, you know. Demons top on these people, or somebody, I don't know, somebody could pay him.
Right.
It happened to one brother in LA. Somebody paid him to go and stab that man up, man. And they most likely destroyed that nigga.
Just recently, right? Just happened like last week.
Yeah, just like the movie Matrix, man. The agents jumping, that's demons.
Yep.
Hop in their body and just have them, you know what I'm saying, go AWOL.
You can tell that brother just he had a lot of demons on him.
Yeah.
He needed to be, you know, prayed upon, but you know, spirit didn't allow it, you know. But you can tell he really got a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Psalms 91:8. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. So we're actually gonna see these people getting fucking fucked up, man. You might see niggas hanging. They might hang a nigga from that shit, man.
Yeah.
String them all the way up. Castrate them.
They showed you that in that Batman movie with Bane. Remember they took over New York City, one of the boroughs, but they really had the dominion over the whole city. But they was hanging the politicians from the building. They was like, yeah, he's crooked. You know what I'm saying? They was actually hold court. You know what I'm saying? They was like death by hanging, or you get to walk out, you know what I'm saying, on the ice. And he got the ice. He was like, well, I'm dead anyway. You know what I'm saying? And he went out there and fell through that ice.
You just see the 411, 414.
Oh, no, I ain't see it.
Bus.
I did the spirit. I was pissed off earlier thinking about that shit, then right on TV, 144.
Yo, the name of the bus is Grace.
Grace?
Oh, yeah.
You see it up top?
And he had 144 in there?
They have 414, but you know, but still.
That's Hebrew, right?
Spirit.
Right to love.
Grace means favor.
Favor.
Psalms 91:9, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So even during that whole thing, brothers didn't get sick, man. And if they did, they still here. Because the Most High gave us knowledge of the herbs to heal ourselves. We ain't run down to Esau for help. You know what I'm saying? It says that he's the physician of no value. You know?
And that's why they was knocking off, you know what I'm saying, doctor, you know what I'm saying, the doctor, the CBs and, you know, Sebi and the
Holistic doctor.
you know what I'm saying?
Verse 11, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. And it says in Daniel 12 that it's going to get so bad, the Most High is going to raise up Michael to stand for the children of thy people. We got angels around us already, man. You probably, you know, can't see them. But they're there, guiding you, protecting you. You know, you might hit something in your head or go this way today. That's the Lord. You know, because if you would have went that way, you never know what could fucking happen. So I just been listening lately. I don't want no problems.
And to confirm it, later on the news, you'll see stuff like, damn,
I was just down.
happening. You know what I'm saying?
Like he's like, don't go there, don't fuck with them. All right,
Right.
Boom.
no question
Maybe
asked.
that's spirit. That'd be like it's like some of my friends, like you know, one of my partners came back to town. They want me to come over and see him. And shit. Like my spirit haven't been like, you know, I probably want to go see him, but I, my spirit just like.
Well, at least not in that environment.
Yep.
I'm saying if it is go to some you know, clean spot if possible. You know, I'm not going visiting nobody from the old neighborhood on the block.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
That's stupid.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be wise. Right?
With that, we pray this has been an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem, Akapadas.
Stay strong. Shalom to the
Shalom.
elect.